Pisces. This is your friendly tarot reader on YouTube. This is Aire. So, this is a new format yet once again, but one of my YouTube regulars pointed out that it would be really great to have the tarot readings in real time as I shuffle. And I kind of agree. Oh, 6 of Cups. So I am going to basically do a reading. If you had come to see me at my office or business, this is pretty much what would happen. You would be pretty much sitting across from me, and I would be starting the reading, shuffling, meditating as you sit across from me. So hopefully this will work out. You get to see me lay out the cards, you get to see me explain, you get to see my facial expressions. So I'm going to be trying to read backwards here. Please be patient. So Pisces, your first card is a 5 of Pentacles. You've got the Moon. And you have a 6 of Swords reversed. Okay? Those are your those 3 cards are your future. We have a Knight of Swords. You've got a 6 of Cups. You have a 2 of Swords. So swords are very, very prominent here in your reading so far. As we head into the future, you have a 4 of Swords. You have the Hermit. And you have Strength. So a couple things I'm noting here. Swords are bringing in a lot of energy for you. And I think the overall impression I'm getting is, especially seeing that the 6 of Cups is right here in the middle, I'm just getting the impression of love and loss. Love and loss. And that is very difficult, especially for you, Pisces, because you feel everything. So the first card I want to focus on is this 6 of Cups, this longing in the past, thinking of an old lover, or even if you did break up, because we just got out of a Mercury retrograde from the middle of March. So, you know, as I said in the last month's reading, a lot of you are probably just coming out of the wreckage. Any misunderstandings, arguments, not on the same page with your partner. So these swords here are probably showing up for you because of the energy of your love interest. Lots of misunderstandings. Your love interest is pushing you away. So there's still a little bit of that Mercury retrograde energy happening. I don't think you should necessarily panic. But as I said, you've got that 6 of Cups right there in the middle. And sometimes in tarot, yes, the 6 of Cups can mean that an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend is coming back into the picture. But it can also just mean this sense of nostalgia, sentimentality, thinking back in the past. And it can also mean missing someone, pretty much. So, yeah, missing someone, lots of nostalgia. It's just an outpouring of emotion for the past. So with this 6 of Cups, as I said, the Swords energy is coming out very, very strong for you. First and foremost, swords are about our mental, psychological energy. And of course they represent air, which can be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. So some of you are probably attached to someone with a lot of air energy. And so the energy of your love interest, regardless of what their astrological sign is, this Six of Swords is reversed. This is a card of healing and traveling. It can mean physical travel, but it also means emotionally finding finding healing and getting yourself to a better place emotionally. We have a Knight of Swords here, which could actually represent someone. You know, and I've always said that sometimes someone who has a Knight of Swords, they could actually be an actual person when I see those court cards. So even if you're not attached to an air sign, this Knight is probably the energy of your love interest. And we also have this Two of Swords, which is the card of indecision, stalemate. And it can mean that two people can't agree on something as well. And then here in the future, you do have that Four of Swords, the card of retreat and hiding. So some of you Pisces people, as far as your partners, your love interest, they're probably hiding, pushing you away. But it can also mean that they have a lot of anxieties, fears, and hurts and grudges. Based on what I'm seeing from those four cards with swords, is that, yeah, they're not mentally and emotionally and psychologically, they're kind of pushing you away. Maybe you two did have an argument, but they're kind of like staying off to themselves. And that can be something very frequent also with air signs. Staying by yourself, very introverted, very secretive, not being open. So that's the energy that I'm picking up overall. When we go here to the past, you start off with that Five of Pentacles, which is the card of poverty. Now remember, pentacles are very slow and they're associated with money. But the other thing you need to be mindful of is that as far as relationships, it can mean being alone, being abandoned. Someone has left. And it can also mean fears of being left alone, fears of someone leaving you. And so when we get that moon, this is one of the three major arcana cards. Yes, the moon is about your fears. Your subconscious is trying to give you a heads up. There's danger ahead. Please listen to your gut. And so that's when this Six of Swords reverse shows up. Unable to heal, unable to move forward, a fear that your partner is going to bolt and run. So as we head here to the month of April, so Knight of Swords, Six of Cups, Two of Swords, someone can't make a decision. This Six of Cups can also apply to your love interest, that they are hesitant to move on. They can't make a decision. And this is important because sometimes people get stuck in the past. If you had an argument with a partner and the other person is like, well, I'm still holding a grudge. Now I'm scared. I'm not sure I want to move forward with the relationship. So I'm getting a little bit of hesitation here in the relationship, especially with your love interest. And note how this Knight of Swords is facing away from this Six of Cups. He's going in a different direction. So, yes, the energy of your partner right now is indecision. And part of it could also be with this Six of Swords reversed, unable to heal, unable to let go, unable to embrace your feelings. And many people in relationships ignore their feelings. Whenever there's a sense of pain, whenever there's a sense of being hurt, there are people who really avoid those feelings of hurt. They don't want to, you know, it's a big, big obstacle in a lot of relationships when people are not connected to their feelings. And so with the Six of Swords reversed along with the Two of Swords, yes, I'm getting this feeling that your partners are like, I feel hurt, I feel pain, I'm scared, I'm not sure I want to move forward with the relationship, I'm just going to run and hide. So as we go here to the future, yes, Four of Swords, the Hermit being alone. And again, I feel like this Hermit is addressing your love interest, not so much you, but both of you might be feeling emotionally isolated from you. Even if you two are dating, even if some of you are in relationships where you're living together and it's long term, the Hermit doesn't necessarily mean physical isolation. It can mean introspection, trying to understand, trying to get higher knowledge. So we end here with the Strength card. And the Strength card is a good card because it just means hold on, things will get better. Have courage, don't be afraid. And it's a nice little response to the moon here, which showed up here in your past energy. The Strength card is like, you'll be fine, conquer the ego. That's another reason why you have this goddess who is sitting right next to the lion, because she's not afraid. Okay, and I think that's the oracle also giving you a little bit of advice. Don't be afraid. For some of you, it's a matter of your love interest taking enough space to come back and move forward. And so there's sometimes this can be a matter of just biding your time and not feeling afraid, but it can also mean letting go and being able to not stay stuck in the past, not get involved in destructive cycles, arguing, dysfunctional patterns in the relationship. So it's a matter of, for you Pisces, getting past this very, very fearful time where you feel like your partner's pulling away from you and you might panic. And I think what the oracle is saying here in the future is don't panic. It'll be okay. So I am pulling the outcome card. This is kind of awkward, but I think I'll get used to it. So I'm going to pull an outcome card here. And for you, Pisces, this is beautiful. It is a King of Cups. A return to love, a return to emotional openness. And that's what I kind of feel. The swords are sort of getting in the way of emotional intimacy and openness and commitment. But as I said, in the future, if you can just hold on during, especially for those of you who had breakups during Mercury retrograde, this King of Cups is just sort of saying, it'll be okay. There will be a makeup for some of you. You'll be able to reconnect. But also for those of you who might have actually had a breakup and you're alone, this is also the oracle saying there's going to be healing, and there's going to be a return to this emotional stability. You're not going to be giddy and happy, but the King of Cups is just reconnecting with your emotions, not being afraid to experience your feelings, whether it's fear or hurt or loneliness. Okay, so their emotional stability will come back, but as I said, no fear. Even if you're in a very tough spot here, especially with that Five of Pentacles and you're alone, and you're like, I don't know if we're going to get back together. I don't know if I'm going to hear from him again. The oracle is basically saying emotionally, you'll get back on your feet one way or the other. And not to worry about whether you'll hear from this person or again or not. Okay? It'll all work out emotionally. There will be an emotional resolution. So, having said that, Pisces, that was your reading. I hope this new format kind of works for you. So thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you to everybody who supports me and donates, and, my regulars, thank you so much. Spring is here. I hope it's turning out pretty well for you. This is a time of rebirth, so find that rebirth of energy, because spring is usually the time where we start new cycles in life. Okay? I will see you next month, and as always, I wish you love and light.